I'm Lloyd Princeton with Design Management Company. I've had the pleasure of speaking at the Design Center before, and I think we're all very fortunate to be enjoying this market right now. There's a lot of great traffic, there's a lot of great product, and I thank my friends with the World Market Center and the Las Vegas Design Center for having us here. There's a lot of effort and a lot of money that goes into promoting these events and to promoting this industry, and I think it should not go unacknowledged that this just makes the design industry better for all of us. So I thank all of you. Before I introduce our panelists, and the reason, by the way, we're having this discussion is because I don't think anybody really knows what's going on right now. We all know that things are slow, and there's a little bit of a pity potty going on, and people are going, geez, your business down? And yeah, oh yeah, my business is down. And everyone kind of feels better when their neighbor tells them that they're not doing so well. But I say, that's not going to do anything for you. So I thought, well, why don't we bring some different perspectives from some big business and some smaller businesses of what they're proactively doing to make a difference in 2009 and 2010. And it's my hope that you're going to walk out of here with some ideas that you can implement, something that's actionable. And I don't want any more complaining. I just want you to get out there and do something. And that's the purpose of this today, is to give you different perspectives. And I don't think any person sitting here knows exactly what's going to happen 3 months from now. But I guarantee you that if you don't do anything, you're going to get nowhere. And it's still possible to go further down. So take that as a little note. Before I introduce the panelists, all people who are colleagues of mine, I'm going to share with you something from one of my favorite books, because I think there is a silver lining to every cloud. How many people have read East of Eden? Wonderful. Great book. John Stein book. If you haven't read it and you got a little spare time on your hands, particularly now if things are slow, read a good book. Read a very good book. The book takes place in the Salinas Valley in California, where I'm from. Not Salinas Valley, but California, so I'm very fond of the state. And it takes place in the 1800s. And as you can imagine, then things were a little tougher. So I'm going to read you this paragraph and enjoy John Steinbeck. It's beautiful stuff. I've spoken to the rich years when the rainfall was plentiful, but there were dry years too, and they put a terror on the valley. The water came in a 30-year cycle. There would be 5 or 6 wet and wonderful years when there might be 19 to 25 inches of rain, and the land would shout with grass. Then would come 6 or 7 pretty good years of 12 to 16 inches of rain. And then the dry years would come. And sometimes there would only be 7 or 8 inches of rain. The land dried up and the grasses headed out miserably a few inches high, and great bare scabby places appeared in the valley. The live oaks got a crusty look, and the sagebrush was gray. The land cracked and the springs dried up, and the cattle listlessly nibbled dry twigs. Then the farmers and the ranchers would be filled with disgust for the Salinas Valley. The cows would grow thin and sometimes starve to death. People would have to haul water in barrels to their farms just for drinking. Some families would sell out for nearly nothing and move away. And it never failed that during the dry years, the people forgot about the rich years. And during the wet years, they lost all memory of the dry years. It was always that way. So guess what? The rain is coming. I promise you. It's on its way. Okay? Without further ado, we have some really exceptional people here this afternoon. This is an interactive panel. I have insisted that they take maybe 5 to 8 minutes to tell us a little bit about their perspective on things, because I want the Q&A. Okay? So get your questions ready, because we're going to be asking them. And you have experts here. They've taken their time to join us today, and we're very fortunate to have them. Starting us out is a very dear friend of mine and a colleague from the lovely state of Georgia, Atlanta, Sims Bray, who is the publisher of one of my favorite magazines, Veranda magazine. Has anyone heard of that? Yes. Okay. Sims has graciously given each of you a copy of the publication, so please do take it and enjoy it. He actually started his career in 1977 as a co-founder of another great magazine, Southern Accents. Anyone heard of that one? Great publication. He was actually named publisher of Veranda in 1996, and in 2002, it was acquired by Hearst. And I know that Sims is going to share a little bit about the origins of Veranda because it's an inspiring story, and I think everyone needs a little inspiration right now. And under his tenure, the advertising pages have grown from 360 in 1993 to 890 in 2008. So it makes for a really heavy publication. But anyway, but he's driving business, and that's what it's about. Each of us has a business to drive, okay? And this is fresh perspective. Veranda has become one of the most beautiful, certainly, and respected design publications in the world. Please welcome Sims Bray. So take your microphone, and you're on.
Well, can anybody hear me? Is this thing on?
You might want to take it out and hold it closer. I think that's going to be a little...
Hello, hello?
That's good.
Okay. When Lloyd asked me to do this, and please let me apologize beforehand because this Nevada dry air is playing havoc with my voice. But when Lloyd asked me to do this, I said to myself, my God, how can I help interior designers with their businesses? I know nothing about their business. But I started thinking about the genesis and the development of Veranda, and I thought, well, this might be something that they might be able to use. So just very quickly, Lisa Newsom is the editor-in-chief of Veranda, and it was she and she alone in 1987 decided that she was going to publish her own magazine and launch it with her own money and with only 2 employees, which she did. And she got an art director who was Chuck Ross, who was the ex-art director of Architectural Digest. So she launched this magazine with little fanfare, and it grew very modestly until about 1992, at which point it found an audience, and it just took off.